I followed the rules, paid my dues, and crushed shit in corporate America. Then freedom became all that mattered. What's up? What's up? What's up, good people? Hello, Twitter land. Hello, Facebook land. Hello, Riverside FM for our real Day One fans who are actually locked into the app and may even call in as guests if you decide to. Please do pull up. And what's up, everybody else that's listening from wherever you are? Today, I have a very, very, very special guest. Whose name is Hannah White. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but she's a senior at the University of South Carolina. She is a soror of mine, Theta Gamma Stand Up, What's Up, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Sorority Incorporated. She's an honors college student and so many other things. I'm so happy that she's on this episode of the Free Black Girls podcast. Hannah, what's up, mama?
Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be here and just chat. Again, my name is Hannah and I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. So don't know where everyone's listening to, but I'm from the South, Southern girl.
Hey.
And this is my last semester at the University of South Carolina. So that is the connection that Casey, one of many that we found out that we share. So very excited, enjoying my semester, and I can't wait to talk about anything and everything under the sun here today.
Love this. Y'all, Hannah is a trooper because I literally just told her the new format of the Free Black Girls podcast, and many of you might remember this as That Casey Richardson Show, where I will always have guests. That's nothing new, but I really do want the structure of this show to be free flow. Like, I want us to be able to show up and just have a conversation. I'm going to be pulling impromptu questions out of my handy dandy jar that guests will answer. Those of you in the audience, you are always welcome to pop in real time. You can show your face here on screen too. But while we get it warmed up, I'm going to play the show intro, and then I'm going to get these questions cooked up for Hannah.
Perfect. I'm excited.
I followed the rules, paid my dues, and crushed shit in corporate America. Then freedom became all that mattered. Ashe, 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 ashe. All right. So, Hannah, we're talking about freedom today, right? And I will say one thing that's really impressed me about you. One thing that's really impressed me about you is in our talks, just the way that you've been able to kind of honestly survey and talk about the things that you would do if, like, you didn't have pressure, right? To be this, like, ideal student, right? This ideal prodigy from your hometown, this ideal honors college student, right? So I look forward to just unpacking some of the things that are top of mind for you as we talk through some of these things. So let me switch my camera.
Okay. I'm excited to chat it up.
I am too, Mamacita.
Things like this are therapeutic to me in a sense. So I always enjoy stuff like
this. Okay. First question. It's not letting me switch my camera. All right, but at least you can hear me, Mama.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on this. First question is, if money was not an option, Hannah, if money was not an option, what is the lifestyle that you would be living 2 years from now?
2 years from now, okay. If money was not a problem, anything I needed to think about, 2 years from now, I would probably, honestly, and I love to say it, I would be doing some of the things that I am currently doing. So always was driven. I think that might be the Leo in me. Also, my parents are very ambitious. They're entrepreneurs. But I've always been driven by passion. So if I need to do it, perhaps whatever, but I have to have passion in order to go after or do anything. And so that exudes into like my job, whatever job I would have, whatever I study, whatever I decide to do as like a project or work with others with. It has to be there has to be passion there for me to do anything. And so I really think that I would be doing some of the same things that I'm doing now, but maybe have more resources and time to put my all into that. Not have to worry about finances when it comes to travel. I do love to travel, see different things, do a lot of different experiences. And so I'll probably do that. And of course, I mean, take care of my family, my parents, my brother, grandparents, friends. I think that's special too. And I mean, on a casual basis, definitely watch a little bit more Netflix. You know, I have my shows,
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
but when it's not winter break or something, I'm running thin to watch them, and I just love to just sit and watch shows. Not on Netflix, but Insecure on HBO Max. Issa Rae has become one of my role models, and so shows like that, yeah, I can watch all day.
High key, and that's another question I have for you. Like, who in the media, right? Like, what Black woman in the media inspires you the most today? And not in terms of like accomplishments necessarily, but just like who they are, right? Like the space that they take up. Who would that be for you?
It would be Issa. And even though of course, like she's older than me, and I feel like so many Black women around the world feel that way of like she changed the game when she came in. And Insecure, things like Insecure, The Sweet Life is another reality show that she put on about upcoming Black people within California. So it's just raw, authentic, and relatable. And we always talk about reality TV or TV, and some of the emotions they try to spur out to you is things that you can relate to, as they would say. But as we know, yeah, we're not really related to a lot of people just saying are relatable until Issa broke that mold with the different shows that she's putting on. And so I really started to go deeper into it makes you go deeper. Like it wasn't just about Insecure, but who is behind the screen or behind the wording, behind the narrations, everything, behind the Black full cast. Like who are these people? And so looking to her background, seeing how she went to Stanford, and it's not about the level of Stanford, but she went to Stanford for something else. And she decided to choose herself rather than going into that path. So it reminds me similar what we talked about of like feeling like you have to go to corporate America, making a corporate America before you do something for yourself. And like you, she also chose I'm a bet on me. And it works. It works. So.
It works. Like I was more recently, maybe because the show has wrapped, which is unfortunate that like we get a lot of, I guess, press after death or like something comes to a close, right? Whole other topic. But two things have stood out to me lately. One being that, you know, she even had to fight to play herself, right? She even had to fight to play Issa with HBO, right? Like they wanted a different prototype, right, of the Black woman, like what they think is more palatable to people. When, like you said, like, man, Issa showed up in a way, man, that was for real relatable, right? And I can't even imagine what would have happened if once again she didn't bet on herself and risk losing the whole deal, right? If she didn't get what she really wanted. And two, I guess she did an interview recently, and there's this clip in particular that I love so much. I posted it on the Blaze IG, where she was saying, you know, network horizontally. Like she said, for her, it's not about hitting up Tyler Perry and hitting up Oprah, etc., saying, hey, give me an opportunity. Like she hits her friends up, right? Like she hits creators up. She hits up people that like don't have no money to give, and she has no money to give, and they legit like go hard in the paint with each other, right? And that's a gem, man, because like we're not taught to do that. We're not taught that like there is value and esteem and all of the things, right, in our friends' gifts. So like let's put each other on.
Yeah.
I needed to see that,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it inspires me like to reach out to people like you. Like you're always
Yeah.
speaking about tunnel vision and next step prestige or how to get to next level instead of just looking to left and right of you and missing
Yeah.
out really on what could
High
be.
key.
Because if she wasn't to do that, even the content, it's really reflecting what's going on in her life. So she even had episodes
Yeah.
where she was now starting her business and she had a client, which was a black owned clothing company, and
Yes.
navigating how the firm that she was working for, the PR firm she was working for, was like, yeah, you need to tone that down, and how that
Yup.
all came to be. So it really is eye opening. It really is. And it's real life.
Mm.
It's real life. But
It's
man,
real life.
it's
And
inspiring.
it's real life that's typically hidden in the margins, right? Like and that's a thing, right? Like when we do, I don't know, like taking sessions on what we really want to like be large scale, like these people don't know the stories that happen in the margins. So the stuff they're producing is the
Not
same old
right.
stuff, which we cannot relate to, right? But like, you're so right. Like the story she portrayed, that part of the storyline where like she was trying to get dude to tone down like his artistry, even though he was keeping it real, right? Like even though he was giving a voice to people who don't have it, she was afraid of losing everything. And we, especially in corporate America, like we play that dance all the time. Like seeing our friends on the street and with our coworkers, like, do I code switch and say hi, girl, or do I, be like, like
Mhm.
we do that dance all the time.
Yeah.
Um,
it's 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 pretty amazing. And I just think when we talk about like the point of the podcast, freedom, that's the
yeah,
purest form of freedom. Like
yeah,
you truly exuding who you are, your passions, lifting up your
yeah.
community. And freedom is feeling like you truly have control of your thoughts and your actions in every
For
way. And
sure.
so it really does go through that battle of freedom, trying to get
That's
freedom.
right.
What's the sacrifice you think, because you have to battle that in your mind, sacrificing, ooh, the PR firm, or
For
really
sure.
uplifting what I want to do. So when
Yeah.
you think about freedom, I really do. She's probably one of those people that's like, yeah, uh, freedom is exuded in many ways. Of course, it's probably difficult. She had to do a lot to get to where she was, but I
Hmm.
see freedom in her, and that's what I would aspire to be in my career. So,
I
and you
love this.
too. We
And
always talk about it. Now you're in South Africa, doing this, the Blaze. Thousands of Black women entrepreneurs are being inspired by you. Like we always talk, and me as a senior in college, it's like, how do I get to that state of how I feel is free, just
yeah,
to be and inspire,
yeah.
and more having these conversations, hopefully, and I'm becoming more assured that it can happen now. Like you don't have to, wait.
100%. 100%. And I'll share some extra light on that too because man, y'all, the conversations that Hannah and I have, like
Crazy.
flies on the wall, would become so liberated from, right? So I'll never forget when I first started, speaking with Hannah, and like now, like she mentioned, right? Like I've gone through corporate America, and I'm now like running my own business from Africa. Like I'm wherever I want to be in the world, right? And she's a senior in college, embarking on, adulthood and her career, etc. And I'll never forget the first time she said, man, like I wish I could just skip over all of the years that are ahead of me and like be where you are now, like run the business that I want to and be an entrepreneur and be anywhere in the world, right? And it was the first time. So, and my point around this is that these conversations inspire me in the most important of ways, right? Because when she first said that, I didn't have an easy way of getting her there either, right? It was, and I told her, Hannah will probably remember this. I told her, you can go to corporate America, which is more rigid, but you'll learn a whole lot, in 3 years. Like what somebody else will learn in 10 years, you learn in 3. Or you can go to nonprofit passion field route. They won't have sophisticated systems, etc. So you will not scale, right? And your technical skills is fast, but you will be, fulfill, and then eventually you go into entrepreneurship. But since that conversation, since many conversations like it, and since talking to some other college students that are super dope. Like Kenna is. Now I have all these epiphanies. Like, oh yeah, like I can set this up where in the summertime, like college students are coming to Africa with me and taking consulting jobs. I don't do any of them in the summer. Like I give them all to them, right? And I like manage for, like oversee the projects, but they do it. And once you have that on your resume and you understand how a startup works, yeah, go start your own, right? So hearing other people's conversation about what freedom looks like to them helps me to craft plans, right? To help bridge people to it faster, where it's like 12 months instead of 12 years. So thank you, quite honestly, for being vulnerable with me, because it's inspired me tremendously.
Oh wow, no, that means a lot to me. That really does. It really does, and I'm so excited because now it's the beginning. Now we're stuck for life. So.
Oh, we stuck. We're stuck in this up. Okay, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So I have so many questions I want to ask you for real, Hannah, but I'm gonna keep true to what I said. And let's pull this on that. Let's pull this on that. Okay, so what is one thing that you obsessed over, that you completely obsessed over in your lifetime, that looking back on it, you see was not really a big deal at all?
Just one?
or three, sis.
I mean, I say that to say, and I mean, I feel like many people can relate. You stress over a lot. You reflect, and it's like it's got it. Well, yeah. In times, it got to a point where it's like, when am I not? Like, I can name more times when I was more just at peace than when was that time that you stressed over something that didn't matter. Because to be honest, it was too many. It was more than not that I was stressing over things that weren't, in hindsight, important enough to stress over, or I didn't have control over. So it was just something that I was doing, and it wasn't helping the situation. But the biggest thing that I can remember that basically changed my stance on life from that point on was, I think it was in high school, and I just got mad anxiety and depression over the fear of the future unknown. Like, before I even put myself up for an opportunity or seek different things, everything was going well in high school. I had friends, I was doing good in school, like loved my family, everything. And summer after freshman year, I went into a funk of like just fear of, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna? And I don't know.
Freshman year, sis?
I've always had an old soul, so I always just think probably like 5 to 10 years. If I was like, right now I'm 21, so probably like if I'm 31. And so in high school, probably with things that many people do in college, I know I have friends that went through it in college. I went through it then, of like, what am I doing with my life or whatever? You're going to school, you're coming home, you got dance class, like, Hannah. But down and out bad. Transferred to 3 different high schools.
Really?
Not really keeping contact with many friends from my hometown. And I put myself in that situation off of the fear of if I failed in the future. And so it took a 2-year process for me to sit down. I'm taking all my classes online in a room by myself. I was the only one. Like, it was my mindset and my choices that put me there. And of course, mental health is huge, especially as Black women. So glad we're talking about it more. But 8 years ago, around 8 years ago, I didn't hear that much growing up. And it might have been also the city, hometown. So I thought I was going crazy, and really talking to people, journaling. I've realized that, I have to get myself out this mindset. So if it's scriptures, affirmations, journaling, one step at a time, we're going to get back into this. And so transferred back to a public school, graduated, went to USC, and I was like, USC is going to be the time where, it's going to be completely different from high school. So that's what motivated me to be where I am right now, to where like I'm not going to ever let myself get in the way of my potential. If other external
Yeah.
factors will face those, I will face those. But if I have control over it, it was really a mental mind shift of I can't be the thing that makes everything go downhill, if that makes sense.
And like I'll always see so many parallels in our lives, man. I was talking to a friend of mine sometime last year. Really, in hindsight, really be like apologizing for being the horrible person I never knew I was because of the way I was conditioned, right? And what I was explaining to her was, and I'm sure you'll resonate with this, you know, even in elementary school, right? When you show that you have the propensity to like learn and like be manage somebody's company one day, they separate you, right? Like you got to go to the, I guess we call it AAP then, right? And then in middle school, the same thing. Like, oh, well, can you take like honors science and social studies too? We're gonna separate you there too. And then in high school, it's like AP and international baccalaureate, and all of these things. So like you become farther and farther and farther removed from like real life, like what your peers are really doing, and like like the way they're thinking, and like normal like kid stuff, and like you are just so high strung about like getting as close to the 100.0 decimal, on your grades and the highest GPA or whatever. But it really does some stuff to us, right? Like it really puts us in this bubble and makes us really, really stressed and overconsumed, I think, with productivity and output. And it's like, because it's not about entrepreneurship. Like they're not teaching us how to secure our own bag. It's like, how do we put you, in this pipeline to work for the man and be really good at it and govern the people down here, et cetera. So it's wild to hear that as a freshman though, it paralyzed you that much, right? And I think it's a reflection of just what we're put through to
we talk about this all the time too, but we just have that pressure to be perfect all the time and to cross our T's, dot our I's, and still now, like where we're at now, we're still growing, right? Like you just gotta take everything. Like it also, I had to think about like my fear is failure, but yet to be what I want to be, I like failures are part of the process for me to learn to then become better. So that also dismantled the fear of just failing, of like I got to, so I need to embrace it, like I'm gonna need to keep going, and if it happens, thank goodness, because that means I found something big. I learned something big, and so that also took a lot. But really, the gist of it, to sum it up, is to stop stressing about things that are out of my control, which makes it like I can't pinpoint one certain moment, because that was the mindset that I had that made me stressed over from when I woke up in the morning to going to sleep at night. And you literally just let go of things that you can't control and figure out and really just think about what you can control. Yeah, it's a game changer. So that was for me.
Hannah White, ladies and gentlemen, this is off the chain. Okay, really one of my favorite people. Beautiful, man. And like we're only scratching the surface. I know we're at end time now, Hannah, but I just love like conversations with you, feel so natural, even live on this show. So I would love to have you back and continue to unpack things such as your thesis project, this documentary that you're doing. Just real quick, tell the people what it is, and then we'll have you back to talk about it more and talk about even like what happened after the screenings and all that stuff. But if you could share a bit of insight about it.
Yeah, so really quick, for the honors college at University of South Carolina, every student has to do an honors thesis. And because of my experiences at the university, different leadership, meeting so many amazing Black women that helped me figure out my path, helped me grow, and are dedicated to me as a person, not just what I do, but truly like care about me, and inspire me to make my honors thesis about Black women at the University of South Carolina. So we're talking about Issa Rae and looking to left and right in order to go up horizontally. That's the same type of vibe that I wanted the thesis to be about. And so thank God, had a lot of people in my corner. And so including departments that were able to fund me to help bring other people along to create a documentary. So when I say it's fully Black, it's blackity black. So from the editors, departments, faculty, staff, alum, fully Black, and to the premiere where we're working with Black cinema theater. So fully Black is really what I wanted it, and it's crazy how it's finally coming together. In the spring is when it's going to premiere, but really just going back to what the podcast is about, of really uplifting those that are around you. So talking about the experiences of Black women, their successes, the struggles, mentorship, legacy, advocacy, and student life, since it was at the university. So really excited about that, and I can't wait to come back to tell more.
Woo! I could cry right now. I'm so proud of you. And I'm talking about, we're going to the Sundance Festival. Hannah, like you can do this at other colleges, even starting in London. Y'all should go to London next year. This year is 2022. Like, the girl is off the chain. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this, sis. But beautiful. I love you deep, Hannah. Thank you so much for being on the show. And I'll have you back.
Of course, you know I love you, Casey. I love you always. So grateful.
Thank you, Mama. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next week. Blaze Business Intensive is the 6-week business management course for Black women. Enroll today by going to blazebusinessintensive.com.